Welcome in to another episode of Foreigner Loves
Filipina! So like in the Philippines, when your husband is working, like all the money goes to the wife. And then the wife can just like, budget all the things and things.
So,
Is that the same here too?
well, obviously every situation is different, but let's talk about what you're used to in the Philippines. So you're saying in the Philippines, generally the husband works, the wife takes care of the house and the home, particularly when the kids are young, but that the husband gives the money to the wife, and then she kind of runs the budget of the home.
Yes.
Okay, and so now, like in your mom and dad's case, your dad has several businesses, so I'm assuming the business money stays separate because he runs the businesses, right? But as far as the household money, that goes to your mom, and your mom decides where money's spent?
No, like in my family situation, like the business things are just all
It's all together.
together.
Okay, so the business.
Yeah.
All right, so in your case, in their case, they have a small sari store that's right out of their home. They have a piggery, and then they buy and sell coconut and rice. So they basically have 4 different small businesses, all family-run businesses. I don't think you have any employees, right? It's just all family.
No, it's just all family.
Okay.
Like,
So explain how the money works in that situation then.
So like since my dad is not working outside, so we have our own business inside the house. So the money just goes to both my mom and dad. So if my dad wants to buy something, he can just grab some money. And then if my mom wants to buy something, she just can grab the money. So there's no like depositing or giving the money to someone. Like my dad give it to mom, it's not working like that.
Yeah.
It's all in
But
this
if it was a family where they didn't have businesses, if it was just a traditional family where the man went out and worked and the woman stayed home with the kids, how would the money traditionally be handled in that case?
Traditionally, like 80% of the man's salary would be in the wife's B, because she's
the wife's control.
The wife's control, and maybe like 20% just have his own pocket money. So yeah, that's like the tradition there.
So the man basically gives his salary, his money to the woman, and then she really controls where most of the money's spent, because she's taking care of the home and she's taking care of all that, and so the only money the man really keeps is kind of his pocket money. His walk around money.
If he needs something, then he can maybe have 20% of his salary left in his pocket. But most of the time they give it all to the wife, who's taking. But it was fun. It's funny because like if, for example, you like husband and wife are both working, so the husband will still give the salary to his wife, and then the wife just keeps her own money. So that's how it was.
That sounds like America. See? All right, so explain that situation. So if they both work, he gives his money to his wife. She keeps her money. So how's that work?
Yeah, it's like.
But as far as the spending side, is she still the one kind of doing all the spending?
Yeah, like budgeting, like getting all the groceries, paying the electricity, paying all the water, all the bills in the household. The wife is gonna be the one like taking care of it, while the husband just kind of focusing on his work. So that's how basically like do it.
Yeah.
And,
so in the Philippines, part of being a wife and part of being in charge of the house is that she's really kind of in charge of the finances. She's the one that pays all the bills.
pays all the bills.
Okay. She makes sure that obviously she does all the grocery shopping. But she pays like the monthly bills, the electric, the phone bills, all those type of
And
things.
all of those kind of things, yeah.
Okay.
But all the guys just kind of contribute like how much money she needs, or how much money we need to pay for the bill, and the girls were kind of like take care of it.
Well, that's good. See, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that's how it traditionally works.
Yeah,
All right, so the guy gives his money to the wife. She's largely in charge of where the money is spent. How do you think the decision making makes? Like if there's a decision that has to be made about a major purchase. Maybe they need a new motorcycle, or they want to buy a refrigerator. Something bigger than just the day-to-day expenses. How do you think in a traditional household like that, not where it's a family business like your parents, but where traditionally they're out there working and the money comes in and the woman is in charge of the day-to-day spending. If there's a bigger purchase, what's the decision-making process? How involved is the man versus the woman?
All right, so let's just, I'm just gonna say an example with my sister and my brother-in-law, since, it's like a traditional kind of husband and wife, because my sister just stay in the house and my brother-in-law is the one who gets to work. And so they're deciding to get a new motorcycle. But then, of course, I think he still got the motorcycle. It just needs to have like a communication to the both of you. Because if you really need it, if you really need that motorcycle for your everyday life, then both of the parties kind of agree to get it. So, it's just like that.
So it's just communicating, and they kind of decide together.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about another scenario. Let's say, and I don't know how prevalent this is in the province, but it's certainly something happens here a lot. Let's say one of the two people, it could be the husband, it could be the wife, one of them's a spender. They can't hold on to money because they spend it all. And if their money comes in, they're going to spend it. And then the other one is more of a saver, where they're more conservative with their money. They don't want to spend it all the time. How does that conflict get resolved between the spender and the person who's more conservative?
I don't really know. That's a hard question. But I guess if it's in that situation, I think communication is still gonna be the key. It's like for example, that girl is spending too much, like crazy, and then the guy, is a saver. So I think the guy maybe just need to talk to her wife that maybe can you just please, or I don't know.
So
think about that. It's hard to answer.
So if she's the spender, or he makes the money, and she's the spender, but she's maybe a little reckless with her spending. She's not just buying the basic things needed. She's maybe buying things that maybe they can't really afford. Okay, and so you're saying they should sit down and communicate, which honestly you Filipinos aren't all that great at. I will say, okay, because Filipinos don't like to communicate, guys, because they avoid conflict at all costs. So I'm trying to envision how this is going to work, knowing how the Filipino mind works, where you guys don't like conflict. But some things have to be discussed when there is an issue like that. So let's say the woman's the one out there spending way too much money. The man tries to talk to her about, hey, we can't keep doing this. You can't keep buying these things we don't really need. And she doesn't stop. Like, it doesn't get any better. How does that conflict get resolved?
Yeah, that's really a good question. Let's just ask the audience.
That's the audience. Yes, maybe you guys have an answer for this.
I can't really state an example because my mom is not.
Yeah,
like,
can you think of any friends or parents of any of your friends growing up where there was a situation like that?
Yeah, I have a friend here in America.
Okay, well,
like she's a spender. Like she buy those things which I can't. Maybe I can afford, but I just can't.
Well, all right. So I know for sure who this couple is, but it's a Filipina and an American. So it's not a Filipina. I mean, yes, it's not a. So this is a Filipina who's the spender, and then an American husband.
The American husband is. I think they're like the same. They're both like spenders.
They're both spenders. Yeah, I think they are both spenders. I think she's a bigger spender than him. But yeah, they are. They're both spenders. Yeah.
Because me, I'm just wanted to find like a good deal. Like if I say, so this is the regular price, $100. I'm kind of wait until it goes down, like I get to $10. And that's me. I love to bargain, especially if there's something that I will buy for for holidays and something like that. But she's not like that. Like she still wanted to buy more and more and more and more, and it's not cheap. It's expensive.
So how do they
too. So
how do they do with their conflict? Because like you say, they both are kind of spenders, but she's definitely a bigger spender than he is. So how does that work?
Well, she told me that if she doesn't get what she wants, and then she already asked that to her husband, and then the husband will say no, then she gonna get tampo and things like that. And so the husband will, like, oh, say sorry. And I feel like, he's just gonna give up, like, okay, just go spend, I'll buy you this and buy you that. Because, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're the best example.
But you know what, like, if, I don't know how it works, but yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, so.
That's a good question, huh? I've never know any.
Well,
back in home.
It's probably a little different because you guys don't really have credit cards. You don't borrow, so it's all hard money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably a little like if it's a poor family or even a middle class family. It's not like it's hard to just keep going spending like on a credit card like you can here, because you only can spend the money you actually have. So that kind of throttles the spending automatically, because if you don't have the cash to go hand to someone, you're not spending. Because now in the cities, they certainly have credit cards and debit cards, but out in the province, it's still almost completely cash. Now, do your parents have any credit cards at all?
No, we don't have it, any credit card, but we do have a kind of debit card.
You have a debit
like a savings card.
Okay.
Like we can put the money there.
So your parents do have a bank account?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I didn't think your parents even had a bank account. So they have a bank account, so they can put the money and they can draw it out. And then do they have an ATM machine close by where they can go pull money out?
Mm-hmm. Like in the Kauaian municipality.
Okay, well that's a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
But that's the closest ATM?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or you can go. Yeah, I think that's the closest, because the other one is in Navan, so that's like 45 minutes drive. So yeah, that's the closest ATM machine.
So so they do have a bank account so they have a debit account where they can pull money out of the bank. But they don't have a credit card.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, credit card is in our province is not really, I don't know, because if maybe if they're gonna have a credit card, oh my goodness, people there are gonna just spend and spend and spend, and at the end of the day they can't pay for the money that they borrow, and then they're just gonna maybe sell the house or give the house to them, give up their house, give up their businesses, give up their, because that's like happen most of the time. Like people will go to this loan store, is that how you said that? A bank or loan or whatever. Like they owe money, they borrow money to you, and then they have this agreement that if you're not gonna pay for it, then you're gonna give up your houses, all your property, whatever you have in the house that will benefit to them. So that's end up a lot that people like lost home, lost property because of that. So I don't think I would recommend credit card in our province.
Yeah, I've watched logs about this, about credit and loans out in the province, that the Filipinos are just not used to it, and they don't know how to deal with it, and they might get a loan for their farm to buy some farm equipment or something. And then they go out and spend it on crazy things and just don't really understand what the consequences are if they don't pay the bill. And then they end up losing their farm, losing their land. And
my dad get a loan before, but he's good in paying it every month. So we never really have a problem on giving up on some of our businesses.
What did he get a loan for?
I don't remember, but when I was still in college that time, I think they need money for sometimes my allowance or my tuition fee, and then I think that's the time that he owed money for the Oxybank. But then he paid for it, because we have a business, so every time our business gets how do you say that, profit, then he will pay for it. So I remember that time.